Does sex sell, especially as a professional and as a woman here in Houston?
Yeah, sure, for sure. The first thing that you see is what impacts people. So, of course, sex sells. I mean, if you're shaming, if you are like a really good talking, if you dress yourself good, like elegant, I think so. My way is better elegant than sexy. But of course, sex sells. It's open doors. It's an open door. So by the time you got the door open, that's where intelligence and your tools or whatever you know about the business or whatever you know about what you're trying to sell works. But of course, the first thing that open doors is sex, definitely.
Flor?
Yes, definitely. I feel like a beauty appearance definitely sells, and I think Elizabeth made a really good point in the Spanish podcast where it's just like it's not like that sex the act is the you like, in my case like being a female like out in the industry. Definitely, I feel like it has an advantage and a disadvantage.
Yes.
Why the disadvantage? Because unfortunately I feel like especially in this industry, the a lot of women have like kind of burned, or
Bridges.
position, yes, or bridges where a lot of men are just, they're just going to you, with other intentions
In an
than
aggressive way, that
buying the
happens a
house.
lot.
So, in my persona, I feel like ever since I start, communicating with anybody, I put my points straightforward. Like, I'm a professional. I'm here. I talk to you with respect. If I'm talking in Spanish, I feel like my way to present myself, it's very straightforward. Where I draw my line. Since the first conversation that we have, and that has helped me so much, like tremendously. I feel like a lot of my clients, I help a lot of like married couples, and that's my go-to. Why? Because I don't play around. Like, I'm
Yeah.
here to do
To the
business.
business.
And that's it. Like, I'm here to help my family. And that's it. Like, I'm not here to, playing little games. Like, that's not me.
And that's actually a good point, because like and I already answered this question right on my Instagram, Better Call Nate, and and yes, sex does sell, and so the thing is this, that unfortunately, that there are some realtors out there that have really really, you know, um, I
They're leaning
guess
too much into it.
yeah,
There we go.
they've sold sex, nothing but sex. They brought no knowledge. They brought nothing to the table but their body, and it messes it up for people like you. And the thing about it is that unfortunately, the people that the women that do that, that's all they can sell to. They can only sell to desperate men because they can't sell to a family because the wife is not gonna like it.
Of course.
They
Yes.
can't sell to a real investor, a real buyer that doesn't care about that can
Yeah, they
that can
just want to know about the numbers.
that can have something
You have to have
better.
that knowledge.
Yeah, they can have something better than a realtor, that's struggling. So yeah, I mean, it's just put in the work. That's just put in the work. You don't have to, sell sex, right? And I've had a few realtors that have done that, and I've fired a few, right? Because that's it brings up, it's a bad
I
look.
mean, it
And
doesn't add
yeah,
anything
and
for you and your agency. I mean,
and it
of
affects the
course you
rest
have
of
to.
it affects the rest of my realtors in here, because then everybody doesn't think that I don't want to get that reputation as my brokerage, that I have those type of women in
course.
in my
You
brokerage,
don't need that.
because then we're and also I mean, it's a waste of time. You're gonna get a lot of phone calls from a lot of
And money.
idiots that are gonna waste your time.
Yes.
And especially not, maybe it was worth it. I don't know if not. Maybe it was worth it for you whenever the times were booming. But Right now, imagine right now.
Well,
to
yeah,
get,
when
That
time,
happen when you're
right,
selling
you know,
too,
right-
you
right-
know.
right now to get 20
whenever
calls.
whenever times are booming,
Yeah.
and people have money left and right, a person who isn't necessarily an investor will throw money at somebody who's selling sex.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
that's
real
what that what I
investor
was
Right
going
now,
to
throw
tell
money
you.
at somebody who's selling
There's
sex.
the other part when you're trying to make a sale, a good one, a good business. You're like, okay, I'm doing business, but there's a lot of young people. I'm talking about young people that have a lot of money, and they want to buy you.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
they can make the
Definitely.
business, but they're trying to, okay, like,
Yeah.
okay, playing. They're trying to play with you because there's a lot of women there, females, that are really selling sex.
Yeah.
So this is one thing that I say, right? Like selling, we're in America, right? And we're super commercialized, right? Everything is they show a commercial, you're going to buy it. Of course, sex sells. I understand that, and I don't even look down on it, right? There's a difference between selling sex where it's like appropriately, like the way commercials do, like Nike does, the way Giorgio Armani does, right? That much of selling sex is fine, right? You have to attract clientele at a certain
course.
point.
But-
So if you're hold on, let me finish real quick. So if you are a good-looking person, it's okay if you attract clients that way. The issue is not only whenever you're selling sex, and I'm going to use this as an acronym for what I want to say, but think about a calculator. When you put the number 4, the 0, and the 3, and flip it upside down. It's a 403 platform, right? So this is something that we talked about as a marketing strategy. Did y'all get what that spells? Okay. So Nate talks about this, right? The 403 marketing strategy. That does not work whenever times are not necessarily hard, but when you actually have to put in elbow grease into the deal, when you have to learn how to negotiate.
Of course.
The 403 strategy only works when there's easy money, when there's money everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only time the 403 strategy works. And the 403 strategy is you're just selling yourself. You know, you're wearing the short dress,
person,
or
that's it.
I mean, it could even be a guy too, right?
Of course.
It doesn't
Definitely.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
But selling sex is not a problem. If you're a good-looking person, if you have something that makes you stand out, that's fine. But learn the back end. Have somebody who's going to tell you, hey, look, you're going to attract a lot of guys. You're going to attract a lot of women.
Yes.
But you need to be prepared, and this is how you close them.
Yes,
It's
definitely.
fine if you attract people because of how you look. You can't help that, right? But don't use that as your only advantage. It can be your only tool.
That's stupid.
Yeah. So go ahead, Flor. I cut you off. Go ahead.
Honestly, I think it's actually, you know, it's a sad situation for especially like, you know, newer agents. I feel like newer and younger agents think that because they have, you know, the greatest body, they have, you know, beautiful face, you know, they think that they're gonna make it into, you know, this business just because they have those qualities. And you know, to me,
And
it
they
goes-
think they're gonna do like quick money,
Yes,
easy
and
money,
it
just
goes
for that.
like it goes way beyond that. It goes way beyond, you know, to having, you know, have like a beautiful interior where your goal is to actually, you know, help your client, where you're putting your client, you know, above, you know, or beyond like your needs or your means. It's
So I actually had a newer realtor, right? And they interviewed with us, and they wanted me to be their manager. And I straight up talked to them. I was like, "What do you want out of this business?" This person has that thing where people are attracted to them because of their looks, right? And plenty of people come to them, right? And they told me, "Well, I want to move into like higher end properties, 5 to $1 million." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. This is what you want, right? Yes. You're gonna have to change personally how you present yourself. You don't have to change who you are, but how you present yourself.
Exactly.
How you present yourself is for the lifestyle that you have now. If you want to work your way out of that lifestyle, you don't want to be a part of that anymore. Present yourself more in a classy fashion, right? There's certain things that you have to do, and this is why I'm not putting a sex to it, right? A male or female, because this applies to everybody.
Yes.
I have realtors who've been here before who come from guys who have really good connections, like on the dark side of making money, right? And I was like, well, if you don't want to be part of that no more, you can't present yourself.
No,
as
you need
that.
to change.
You have to change.
Yes.
So this applies to both.